Give yourself some grace. Show yourself some grace. Forgive yourself, right? If you find that you have ever done anything that you're not completely okay with yourself, you know that this action was not the right thing to do at the moment. In retrospect, it can be in retrospect, it doesn't really matter, right? The most important part is to not do it again. And the best way of getting about that is fixing your behavior from the root, right? And accepting that there is both light and darkness in your life, because there is. If you're saying there is not, you're in denial. You're actually running from parts of yourself that you have not accepted and forgiven. Okay. And that is one of the originating points that I went from. At least, I mean, I started there, but it takes time from going from realizing to actually living it. It takes time. So be patient with yourself. Above everything, be patient with yourself, because you're the best thing that ever happened to you. You understand? The best gift you can ever get is the gift of life. Okay? There is not much that trumps that. I was asked long ago what I do to work on my triggers, right? This person claimed that you need to be living bombarded by triggers in order to work on them. I disagree. I really do disagree here, because if you live constantly bombarded by people who trigger you, you're not gonna regulate your nervous system. You regulate your nervous system when you feel safe, free of judgment, right? Judgment. And a good analogy is, if you cut yourself, do you repeatedly keep cutting that surface so that it can heal? I mean, think about it, right? By repeatedly putting your brain into the same stressful situations that put you there from the beginning. Make that make sense, please. Now, I agree that you need to work on your triggers. I do, but I highly suggest you do it with people you feel safe with. The people that openly show you that they pass no judgment, they are not gonna cause you any harm, and not the other way around. You do not start with the people that cause the problem from the beginning, right? Because if you could handle that from the start, you would never be in that situation to begin with, right? And once that you have started stabilizing your nervous system, where you get normal reactions to normal stimuli, you will be able to handle the other people as well. But I highly recommend you start with good people that have your best in interest, right? That wish the best for you. And that's not gonna happen by going back to that toxic workplace. It's not gonna go get better by going back to toxic people in your private life. Cut them off, right? And living like this has given me the unique opportunity to walk away from toxic jobs, toxic people. I am not reliant on anyone right now, right? I am in a position where I actually choose who comes and goes in my life. And an employer's worst fear is a grounded person that chooses to walk away as soon as the work environment becomes toxic. A person who has zero interest in being there just to save their finances. A person who doesn't just go along with their sick behavior. I'm sure you've heard of the expression flying monkeys. And narcissists love to surround themselves with flying monkeys because they feed their ego. They go along with everything. They even act out as an extension of the narcissist, right? And you can simply walk away from this if you do not put yourself in a situation where you have to stay in a toxic environment. And for me, this has been the best thing to happen in my adult life. I had a hard time seeing the blessings in it in the beginning. It stressed me out, before losing my apartment. I felt ostracized. I felt alone. I felt a lot of things. But it also forced me to walk my own path. It opened my eyes once again, because I've known all along that I can handle almost anything, but it opened my eyes to the possibilities of handling everything. And social interactions are important, but they are never that important. You should not let it come to a degree where it is actually harmful for your well-being. And that is where we get back to the importance of picking the right people, cutting the toxic people off. And it is going to be a little bit lonely, because most people have a few issues, that they'll refuse to work on. And it's not your purpose in life to fix them. It's not your purpose in life to make them see themselves. You can give them a conversation about it that hints for them to walk a certain way, but as soon as you notice that they are not listening to what you're saying and they're not internalizing anything, which is their choice, of course, but your choice should be to walk away. It is that simple. Some people actually love the attention they get from their toxicity, from being toxic, actually. It is all they have ever known, so don't be too judgmental when it comes to them, but you need to protect your peace, right? By that I mean, if they are toxic and they show you no interest in changing their behavior, that's a clear cue to walk out, you know? And it is also a foolproof way of ruining your own life, inviting other people's toxicity in order to fix them. Because you need to realize yourself that your behavior is not okay and you need to change it in order to have a different outcome in life, right? And it doesn't have to, go back to bad behavior, but it can be behaviors keeping you in a loop. It can be behaviors that they're not intentional, for an example, but they're still harmful to others around them. And even if it's not intentional, it's not your burden to carry.